everyone. Welcome to this BAKERpedia seminar all about healthy baking. I'm Dr. Lynn, your host for today. This seminar is brought to you by Enzyme Innovation, a research-driven manufacturer with expertise in the application of industrial enzymes and probiotics for baking. They offer natural solutions for replacing chemical dough conditioner ingredients while improving your product quality. It is also made possible by Malt Products, a family business that manufactures and distributes natural, nutritious sweeteners. They source their extract from whole grains and offer non-GMO and organic certifications. Our last sponsor for this segment is A&A Baking Solutions. A&A was developed by a fourth-generation family of bakers who understand the bakery business' unique needs and issues. With constant innovation and commitment to providing the highest quality and most efficient service possible, they provide their clients with the best product, service, and support. Today, we are joined by these amazing speakers. Deepak Rhoda is the Vice President of Market and Business Development at Enzyme Innovation. Deepak is a chemical engineer, did his master's in bioprocess technology and a master's of business management at MIT. He has traveled to over 34 countries and has a rich experience of 28 years in enzymes and probiotics, covering products and application development, sales, and marketing. Currently, Deepak is responsible for market and business development in Americas and Far East countries. Sophia Leung is a food science lab manager at Enzyme Innovation. Sophia is a chemical engineer with a master's in food science and 18 years of research experience, including product and process development, applications testing, and development of analytical tests. Melissa Kyo is a research and development chef at Enzyme Innovation. Melissa has an associate degree in professional baking. She started her career in fine dining, working at two of the leading five-star hotels in LA. This experience has allowed Melissa to be well-versed in a variety of techniques and applications such as breads, pastries, cakes, and confections. She has 9 years of experience in the hospitality and food industry, which includes operations management and product development. Sophia and Melissa are actively working on research and development of enzyme and probiotics in all baked goods, such as a variety of breads, tortillas, regular and high fiber, cakes, and muffins. This research includes developing gluten-free, non-GMO, and preservative-free solutions. So we're going to get a whole bunch of information on that today, folks. Next, our speaker would be Joe Savelli. Hi, Joe. Well, Chef Joe Savelli is Malt Products' first ever director of culinary innovation. He joined the Malt Products team in April and will spearhead efforts to help our customers incorporate MPC's nutritive sweeteners in their products. A foodie by nature, Jeff got his culinary education at the prestigious Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, and is already whipping up wonders at MPC's new headquarters in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. He stands ready, willing, and able, and impeccably qualified to assist you with introducing healthier, more label-friendly sweeteners into your food products, while still dazzling customers with taste, texture, and overall satisfaction. Well, folks, let's dive in. Deepak, Sophia, Melissa, and Joe will now share a presentation on healthy baking. Now, we'll just let the Enzyme Innovation team take it away first.
So, well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Dr. Lynn. It's always a pleasure
You're welcome. I'm so happy to see you guys here today.
Yes, and likewise, always exciting to be with BAKERpedia and like sharing whatever knowledge we have. And So thank you so much for having us. I think you already introduced us. I'll quickly start with a quick introduction to the company, and we'll talk more on what do we have on healthy baking. So a quick introduction about the company, Enzyme Innovation. We are a company. We belong to the group of advanced enzymes. We've been into business of enzymes and probiotics for over the last 63, 64 years. We are true manufacturers. Today, we are from the top 10 global enzymes and probiotics producing company. We make more than 70 individual enzymes, more than 25 different probiotics, using which we make over 400 different solutions, which find applications in more than 25 different industries. Baking is one of the industries where we are walking into. We take a pride to offer solutions which is coming from a non-GMO origin. Also, our solution gets into organic and gluten-free programs. Quality is something where it's like very important for us. We deliver very high quality products. So we have a variety of certifications to our facilities and products such as FSSC 22000, kosher, halal, ISO 17005, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan. So many of the certifications, they are there to our credit. So that's like a quick about company. Let's get on to, I'll talk a little bit more about healthy baking. And of course, Sophia and Melissa then would expand further. They carry much more knowledge than me on this one, right? So what is healthy baking? I think there's no set definition for the healthy baking per se. Healthy baking is like baking any baked products using label-friendly or healthy ingredients. This is what I understand. This also means that it could be a removal of fats, sodium, sugar, or other chemicals such as phosphates, carbonates, or borates, percarbonates. And so just remove these chemicals with something which is healthy. Or it could be also addition of healthy ingredients such as fibers, whole grains, protein, probiotics, or prebiotics. So a variety of things could be done. So this is what we understand about healthy baking. So why do we need a healthy baking? And so if we like from one of the US FDA surveys, survey report which is coming out in 2022. We see that more than 75% of the adults, they are overweight or they are obese. Obesity is a big challenge. 60% of the adults, they have one or more diet-related chronic diseases. Example, high blood pressure or diabetes or high cholesterol levels. So this is really serious. All this is coming from majority of this is coming from probably the lifestyle and also the eating habits, what we are eating. So since healthy baking is not defined, what is healthy, this has gone into the notice of FDA, and I think in 2020 or 2021, if I'm recalling the year right, FDA is proposing for a new definition of what is healthy. So it's not a healthy baking, but then say healthy food or healthy ingredients. This is what it is getting defined. Who has also come out with a healthy diet recommendation. So there is a report published in 2020. So looking at all this, we say, hey, let us come out with something where it is how do we use this all healthy ingredients into the baking and replace something which is causing health hazards while we are eating. So we came out with some solutions, right, Sophia? And we looked at some ingredients and we say, okay, let's look at it. How do we bake how do we do a healthy baking by way of adding fiber or adding protein, adding probiotics, and also how do we do gluten-free baking? Celiac disease is one of the big challenges, or it's growing, and everyone is looking at the gluten-free baking. So here, by using these ingredients, when you change it, there are a lot of process challenges, and around this, then we design solution as well, which will allow one to use all these healthy ingredients, yet get a baked product, which is something similar to the regular ones, right? So one would end up enjoying the taste and its flavor or the texture, but yet would be able to have a healthy product. So why and how we do this, I think Sophia and Melissa, they would help us to understand more. Over to you, Sophia.
Thank you, Deepak. So first, we'll start with fiber. Why do we want to add fiber? Well, there are typical reasons for preventing constipation, improving digestive health, and for weight management. Soluble fibers can help with diabetes management, lowering our cholesterol levels. And if you're looking to reduce sugars in your products, fiber can act as a bulking agent, add texture, mouthfeel, and impart some sweetness for some fibers. So there's a lot of benefits to adding fiber. But according to the dietary guidelines for Americans, over 90% of adults are not getting enough fiber. So if it's so good for us, why aren't we eating more fiber?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, baked goods with added fiber, they tend to be dry, tough, chewy, they're bitter in flavor, they don't taste good. And fiber tends to take up a lot of water, so you may have to add extra water that can increase your bake times and drive up costs. Fiber can also interrupt the gluten network, so that makes your baked goods smaller in volume. So what can we do about these challenges? Well, we have a freshness enzyme called Sebake Fresh Ultra, and that can help with the texture and taste aspect. So that delays scaling. And here we made high fiber corn tortillas, enough to make an excellent source of fiber claim in the US. And you can see on the left here, there are control tortillas, no enzymes. And then we tested 3 levels of Sebake Fresh Ultra. They all look pretty similar, right?
Yeah. And so, okay, you added like 10-15% fiber, or how much percent?
Over 8 grams of fiber per tortilla.
That's amazing. That's a lot. That's good.
And what we found is that actually the control high fiber tortillas, they got harder over time, right? But what's really exciting is that the high fiber tortillas with Sebake Fresh Ultra, they stayed soft throughout the entire study, right? So on day 35, they're about 60% softer than the control. It's pretty, amazing. And the Sebake Fresh Ultra also improved the rollability and foldability of those tortillas. So you can see here in this video, you see the control tortillas, they're breaking up when rolled. This is on day 35 of room temperature storage. And on the left, you see tortillas with Sebake Fresh Ultra. They're staying intact. Same kind of trend when they're folded. So if you give it a little time, the control tortillas, they start breaking here on the right. And those tortillas with Sebake Fresh Ultra, they're bouncing back, right? So they got good flexibility. Also, those high fiber tortillas with Sebake Fresh Ultra, they rated fresher in taste, easier to tear, less chewy, and moister in mouthfeel. So Sebake Fresh Ultra is a very nice tool for baking with added fiber. And because it can keep the texture softer and improve the taste and mouthfeel. Here we're seeing a table that's just showing basically Sebake Fresh Ultra can be used for various other healthy and regular baked goods to keep them softer for longer. And it's pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
Another challenge we talked about earlier was fiber can make baked goods smaller, right? And it can require extra water. Well, we have an enzyme called Sebake AX, it's a xylanase, and that can help with this. It can improve the volume. So Sebake AX, basically, it can act on the fiber, and in particular, the xylans, convert those into xylo oligosaccharides, and that frees up water during mixing so that you can make the dough more extensible. This is really great because then that can potentially reduce the amount of water you need to add. And also the xylo-oligosaccharides that are formed, they can complex with the gluten, right? Strengthen the dough, and then that helps with gas retention so you get better rise. And you can see that here in this slide. So whole wheat breads with added Cebic AX, they had more volume.
That's really a smart way of working, Sophia.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what enzymes can do.
Yeah.
And then next is protein. We commonly use protein to build muscle, right? Increase energy, get our amino acids in for nutrition. Like fiber, protein can help with weight management and regulating our blood sugar levels. And also, as we're getting older, protein is important for muscle maintenance, right?
That's right. And some of the peptides into the protein and some free amino acids, I think they also help to build up the immunity as well, if I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
So protein is for everyone. It's
Yeah,
not just the muscle builders.
Yeah.
And if we don't do anything to adjust our formula when we add protein, the doughs tend to be stiffer and drier, right? And like fiber, protein can suck up a lot of water. So you may need to add extra water, and your baked goods may be smaller, like this picture here. It can get dense in structure too. So what can we do about those challenges? Well, one thing is to look at the type of protein you're working with, right? So plant-cell protein FP is a great option for baking. It's a clean label mung bean protein that's vegan, has no aftertaste or bitterness. It's got a very nice amino acid profile, so it can give all those health benefits we just talked about. And plus it can support brain and renal health, liver and immune functions, and reduce inflammation.
Blood circulation and diabetes management, that's also another
Yeah.
important thing, which is
A lot of really good health benefits. And what makes this protein super special is that it's got good emulsification properties. And you see that it's important for
It's
baking.
important.
So you see here, we have bread on the left. It's with 100% wheat flour, that's our control. And we tested 3 different mung bean proteins. They had the same percent protein content, and they had enough for a good source of protein claim in the US. The main point here is that not all proteins perform the same, right, Deepak?
Yes, it's like, so this protein is a little bit tweaked, and the way we produce it, this is tweaked around to have those important amino acids and also the emulsification properties, which will help to do a healthy baking.
Yes, you have improved gas retention and you got better volume. And these doughs were actually easier to work with than the other 2 mung bean proteins.
And I think adding this protein also, it's not making the bread chewy. You still have the same bite and everything. Am I right, Sophia?
Yeah, it tastes good. It's fantastic. It was developed by our chef.
Yeah.
So, I would eat this in my sandwiches.
Yes.
And we also tested plant-cell protein FP and protein bars at 10% level, compared them with another mung bean protein. And what's interesting is you see that on day 41, they're about 50% softer, which is fantastic if you're trying to counter the challenges like bar hardening. So in summary, plant-cell protein FP, it offers several health benefits, right? It's got good emulsification properties, it increases volume, makes the dough easier to handle, and can make softer products like protein bars. Now I'm going to hand it off to Melissa to talk about probiotics.
Hello. So another great addition to healthy baking is adding probiotics. Probiotics have been shown to improve immune response and gut barrier function, and consumers are looking for a natural alternative to improve digestive health and overall health. So adding probiotics into your baked goods can help set you apart. Some challenges with adding probiotics are they're heat sensitive, so they're not able to withstand high baking temperatures. They may require refrigeration for storage, and in some cases can cause a flavor change in your product. Because some strains of probiotic are lactic acid producing, they may not be desirable for a product that's more neutral, like white sandwich bread. So what's great about SCB-LBSC is that it's a spore-forming probiotic. It's heat stable, shelf stable, and stable in a wide range of pH. It's also grass qualified, non-GMO, and gluten-free, so it can be added into gluten-free products also. We have some really cool clinical studies that show the stability of SCB-LBSC, both in vivo and in vitro. And it's also shown to relieve symptoms of diarrhea, abdominal pain, bloating, IBS, and other gastrointestinal issues. So we added SCB-LBSC in a whole wheat chocolate cake. And in this chocolate cake, there's about 500 million CFU per serving, which is a good amount for a health benefit based off of our clinical studies. It's also a good source of fiber due to the whole wheat flour. And we based this formula off of the Children's Food and Beverage Advertising Initiative. It takes into account the function of each ingredient and breaks down the categories so that they're more transparent. And it's a voluntary program for companies that are advertising to children to help promote a healthier lifestyle. So some other things that we did to make it healthier were we reduced the saturated fats, sugar, and sodium. So as for the sugar, we were able to bring it down to about 9 grams of added sugar per serving, which is really low compared to other cakes that have 19, 20, 30 grams of added sugar. But with that, it lacks some sweetness. So we added stevia to account for that. And, there's so many alternative sugars out there and natural sweeteners. So choosing one that is accepted by the consumer is extremely important. Another thing we did was we reduced the sodium. So we opted for a leavening agent that was low sodium or no sodium, and we were able to bring that down about 100 milligrams per serving.
Those are like really amazing reduction,
Yes.
variety of like fats and sugar and sodium. So you're really making a healthy cake and topped up with a probiotic.
And it tasted fantastic.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and it tasted good. That's important. So what's great about SCB-LBSC in the chocolate cake was it didn't affect the texture. From day 1 to 21, it was relatively similar. And as for sensory, it didn't affect the mouthfeel, taste, or aroma. There was no off or acidic flavors, so that's great. And we tested SCB-LBSC in a wide range of baking applications like cookies, muffins, and breads, and they all had really good survival rates. So we also tested it in gluten-free bread because we noticed that a lot of people with celiac disease or gluten intolerance have a lot of gastrointestinal problems, and adding probiotics can help aid in those gut issues. And gluten-free baking is a big market right now, but some challenges that we did see were that they have poor structures. So as you can see here, the walls are caving in, there's irregular air pockets. They require refrigeration for storage, which can speed up the scaling and cause it to harden quicker. And even in some cases, it's recommended to be frozen so that it can extend the shelf life. And to me, I feel like that's extremely inconvenient. So we decided to also test Civic Fresh Ultra in gluten-free bread along with SCB-LBSC. And in the breads with SCB-LBSC, there's about 650 million CFU per serving. And as for the breads with Civic Fresh Ultra, it performs really, really well. Compared to the control, it was about 3 times softer on day 7. So on top of improving the softness of the bread, it improved the mouthfeel, taste, and overall likability. So if you guys are interested in learning more about probiotics, check out our Probiotics in Baking by scanning this QR code. There will take you to a video where we talk about how probiotics function in your gut and how you can add it into your baking applications. So here are some of our references, and I'm going to hand it back to Deepak.
So thank you, Sophie and Melissa. That was like really great knowledge and enlightening about how we can do a healthy baking using the solutions we have, like the Civic Fresh Ultra or the AX plant separating FP or SCB-LBSC. and using like more fiber or more protein or more probiotics and again healthier products, but also enjoying the same texture, flavor, and same taste. We are not compromising it. So this is great working. So we have all these solutions, and of course, we'll be happy to help anyone, any recipe, product, or knowledge which is required. We'll be happy to share the details. You can reach out to us on our website or on the email. Thank you so much for having us. It was great talking to you guys.
Thank you, Deepak, Sophia, and Melissa. I am so honored to witness all these innovations today because I am such a proponent for increasing the protein, increasing the fiber, and, kind of lowering the sugar a little bit. So as a consultant in the industry, I am always offering these solutions to all the bakers out there. And this is a great time to talk about these things because all the bakers are looking for solutions out there, right? And one of the biggest pain point with protein you hit on is just so difficult to bake with. When you put up that higher protein per serving per slice, that's when bread quality goes down. So I'm so glad you're offering these solutions, and I hope the people here today reach out to you for some of the samples. All right, so thank you so much. Let's go over to Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, we're looking forward to your presentation today too. Looks like you whipped up some stuff for us.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, take it away.
Awesome, thank you. So just a quick introduction. My name is Joe Savelli. I'm the Director of Culinary Innovation here at Malt Products. Lynn, you give us a great introduction, but just a high level, we are a supplier of natural sweeteners from malt extracts, oat extracts, molasses, agave syrup. I have a couple of our products out here just as we're cooking to kind of show off from our agave, our malt extracts, our different bourbon blends, our golden trim, and everything in between. So today, though, I wanted to highlight, since we're talking about healthy baking, one of our products that's actually a blend of our extract, our malt extract or oat extract with a rice syrup. It was developed to go into like protein bars or baked protein cookies, which are the two things we'll be taking a look at today. It's called Barite. This is actually the product right here. I'm not sure how well you can all see from there, but it could be a blend of either our malt extract or oat extract, and then talking onto the health benefits of either one, depending on the blend you go with. So by using malt in these bars, you're getting extra browning, crystal control. You always get this word a little humistancity, so moisture retention, but in a more scientific word. And then you're also going to be impacting your texture, better texture, and you're also going to be extending your shelf life. So that's on the malt side. And then also on the malt side, you're adding protein. It's a high source of maltose. You have amino acids, minerals, the source of certain B vitamins. It's also really packed with antioxidants. 2 tablespoons of our malt extract, when adding in, is equivalent to a third a cup of blueberries. So has more antioxidants than a third cup of fresh blueberries. So a lot of health benefits just in small usage levels. So moving forward, also, if you went the oat extract side, pretty much has a lot of the same health benefits, same functions, just flavors are different. Oat has kind of a very nutty, more caramel note. Malt also kind of that caramelized flavor, but a little less of the nutty side to that. They both kind of have, depending on the malt, we have everything from light, amber, dark. You get different levels of fruitiness and different levels of those caramelized notes. So today with the Barite that I'm showing you, this is a combination of our malt and our rice syrups. So, which is a blend we do in-house out of our manufacturing plant out in Dayton, Ohio. So everything is US made and distributed on the malt side. And I just thought it'd be great to show you kind of the benefits of using our product in baked protein cookies and baked protein bars. Protein bars, protein cookies, in the workout segment. Added are a very big commodity, but however, there's really not that many that taste too amazing or too great. So by using our product, you can really up the flavor, up your nutritionals, and then while still kind of giving the consumer what they're looking for in a protein product. The first item today is these protein bars here. These are both items today are actually also fully plant-based, vegan, using plant-based protein powders as well as our malt product. So to replace the eggs that may bind.
Hey,
So,
Joe.
yeah.
Would you be able to stand in front of the camera with the bars closer
Oh, yeah.
so that we could see them? Yeah,
I'll
come
bring
around.
Yeah, so the bars today are actually, it's a tropical white chocolate.
Awesome, thank you.
Kimo,
Yeah.
can you see them a little better? Going to
Uh-huh,
fall
uh-huh.
off. So it's a chickpea base with our barite as your binder. That's another great quality of barite. Amazing binder. It's going to keep these moist, and while adding those nutritional values. It's also color here. You got really good browning, as well as those different flavor notes and everything. And we'll revisit shortly. And then the other item here that we'll go into a little bit. These are peanut butter chocolate whey like protein cookies. These are using a chocolate whey powder, again plant-based. One of the another selling point of our bar, right? While I'm up here, actually, I could show you a little closer view. Doesn't come in these glasses, but this is the look of the syrup itself. So again, this is one of the blends. We do custom blends as well, depending on the order. I'm going to move back behind this for the kitchen. Another great quality is when using in your protein products is that it will mask kind of that after flavor of added proteins. So if you're using whey powder or if you're using a plant-based one, milk-based, it really does help mask the off after notes of protein, added protein, which if you're familiar with them, I think that's kind of pretty prevalent throughout the protein bar or protein cookie industry. So as I think I just kind of show you, I'm going to mix up a little bit, and then through TV magic, everything kind of came out of that oven already. So I'd like to show you just how easy it is to use our product. Starting with the bars, as I said, it's a base of smashed chickpeas, really great protein source. It's going to have dried pineapples in it. I'm not sure how much you can see. Sorry, we got to figure out this count. And then you can add in through the combination of macadamia nuts, shredded coconut, as well as quinoa. So a little bit toasted just for color and flavor. Now, this one also does have white chocolate in there. It's depending on more flavor, but depending on what you're looking for in your nutritionals, may not have that. And then kind of the ingredient that makes it the protein in the health bar is added vanilla whey powder in there. So then traditionally you would either be using honey or you could be using egg, like some recipes have egg as the binder to help with there. I'm using strictly our BAKERview product. It's used at a 0.5 to 2% usage level. So again, depending on cost of recipes, what you're looking to get out of it completely, you just pour right in there.
What is this product, Joe?
So BAKERview is a blend of our malt extract and our rice syrup.
Okay.
So by using it in place of, say, some traditional use all rice syrup or corn syrups, you're getting a healthier natural sweetener with all those added health benefits that I mentioned before. You're increasing protein, you're adding antioxidants, and then it's also a natural sweetener, non-GMO. It can be.
So can it replace high fructose corn syrups and corn syrups?
Yes, exactly. Let me bring this up here. So, when you are replacing, say you have a baked bar that you typically, if you guys can see,
Yep.
So it's going to bind this all together very nicely. If your original recipe is high fructose corn syrup and you're trying to make a healthier bar, you could replace 1-to-1 with our BAKERview product. So no changes to your recipes, no changes to your commercialization practices or however you're making these. So binds together really good. You're going to see a nice kind of sheen on there. These will mold into a tray and then bake in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes, which then brings you to what I showed you before, our finished bars. So nice browning on top. I know you can't taste through computers yet. Hopefully they can do that sooner than later. Or smell. Smell would probably be the first one, right? But keeps the moisture. It's nice kind of crunch on the outside, moist on the inside, while giving you, it really does mask that kind of off flavor of the protein powder that's added in there. So you're getting your proteins, antioxidants, and you're still kind of getting that nice sweet, subtle note. It's malt has a very nice sweetness. Actually, it's highly enjoyable. It's not that really heavy sugar, refined kind of sweetness. It's a little kind of caramelized notes, almost, especially if our main bar right has malt. We also have an oat extract, which is a little thicker, much more of that like caramel toasted notes. It's a great flavor, but it will come through in the bar. So if you're looking for that like oaty flavor, a great option for any of these, either of these products or any kind of baked bar, baked cookie. And then real quick, I think we got that. Yeah, I just wanted to show one other application. So that was a bar application using different inclusions, and then this is actually one of my favorite products. Let's mix it and then bring in the cookies. These are chocolate peanut butter whey protein cookies. So a lot of times in my experience in the past, I've kind of commercialized a bit of companies that have manufactured protein cookies. They're kind of crumbly, they dry out during the baking, and you never really get that chocolate flavor through when I've cooked with the protein powder. So another benefit of using our malt extracts, malt and chocolate go hand in hand. It like really, it pumps up the flavor of chocolate. You can really brings it out in say chocolate cakes, or in this instance, a chocolate powder. So in here we have, it's your flour, your proteins, peanut butter powder, so dried peanut butter, and as I said, the extra protein. It's just a matter of adding a little bit of this is vegetable oil, and then a tiny bit of water. And then I've had this recipe with egg before, but I'm using just the bar right with all this in there. You have a fully dairy-free, technically vegan product. So you are appealing to a wide array of different consumers. You're kind of gym focused, workout guys that are looking for a high protein, good tasting flavor product. You have maybe somebody who's looking for a vegan snack that's also got a little bit of health benefits into it. And you just add this into there like you would your egg or your syrup, say if you were using honey or anything like that. You make your dough out of it. You'll bring it all together, and I'll bring it right up as soon as put a little elbow grease into it, and then the best I could blend the dough. And you'll see when you're using it, it really does act just like it's a binder of moistening the dough. You could even smell kind of the aroma that comes from your malts. Just add a little bit more water. And then when you bake these, you'll also you'll brown more than you would have without the malt in there, or the bar right product in there, which is I think a good quality. It also kind of can shorten your bake time. So if you're doing high volume of these or of a cookie that you need to brown and you could cut off a few minutes because the malt does help it bake color faster. Then a few minutes on each batch can get you another batch in the day. And then, like I said, with malt, you're getting protein, antioxidants. You're also extending the shelf life by using it. And we do have a lot of literature on exactly how long you could extend it depending on the usage level of the bar right product. And I'll bring this. So it gives you a nice together dough, a little soft. I don't know how well you can all see it. This is actually also one of our new innovation kitchen. So you guys are the first to see us on camera, which is nice. So thank you, everybody.
This is going to compliment you how beautiful that kitchen looks.
Thank you. We're really excited to have it. So doughs together. It forms great into balls. I mean, again, I'm not sure exactly how well, but let me roll one. So you could just take it. It will cut also if you're on machinery like a guillotine, going through a VMAG, extruded, sheeted. Again, you're also not having to change your recipe, which I think is a big point. You're going to increase your nutritionals, your functionality of the product, and then without really having to go back and from square one with your recipe. And then out of that, you have your finished cookie product. So, oops, well, one down there. So nice color. The edges, you're gonna have a nice crust on the outside, and then as well as that kind of still keeping your moisture in the center. Great flavor. The chocolate really comes through when you add malt into your products. Anything with chocolate, highly, even if we're going outside the health side, if you indulge in chocolate cakes, chocolate malt extract will make them taste all that much better.
Well, thanks, Joe. That's a lot of research into making these two products taste good and look good on camera. Well, not taste good on camera, but look good on camera.
I'll figure out a way. We gotta be able to send them out while I'm doing this. They're gonna get tasted. It's a little more impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. So we have a bunch of questions that we have to go through before the end of the hour. So let's head into Q&A. The enzyme innovation team should take a stab at this first.
Sure.
Sounds, thank you, Marina. So with harder, chewier bread, if your bread's getting harder and chewier with the fiber, one thing you can do in addition to the Sebic Fresh Ultra is add a xylanase like our Sebic AX. So the bitterness, at least for the flavor on bitterness, that tends to come from the phenolic compounds in the fiber source. So when the xylanase, the Sebic AX, acts on that fiber, modifies it and helps with the flavor. But also, like we mentioned earlier, the Sebic Fresh Ultra will create, help make the taste fresher, give you that moisture mouthfeel, and it can help with the softness. Another thing with the Sebic AX, that can make the bread softer too, so that if you use a combination, that's a great approach. If you want to add anything.
I think the Sebic AX also has an action on the fiber. It will soften the fiber as well, you know. So so we have like in a two-way of softening it up. We are attacking the fiber, and we are also having the Sebic Fresh Ultra, which will create an extra softness there. So that's not really a great problem. It just gets solved with the two enzymes.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, you can definitely solve it through getting more volume, which the enzymes will be able to give you, and also a taste enhancer. I think Joe might agree with me. What part of your malt products as a taste enhancer could contradict a bitter taste, Joe?
So which, I mean, any of the malt extracts are really going to kind of cover up or complement those in the right way, where they don't come, the bitterness isn't coming through as much. And we have a line from light gold, amber, dark, black. So depending on what type of flavor you want to be covering up your bitter notes, I think a lot of our malt extracts could fit into that need.
Right. Thank you. Is there a reason why you chose that probiotic level? And is there a standard that bakers should adhere to?
So I'll take on that one. So SCB LVSC, as we displayed, it's like this is a clinically researched probiotic, and in the clinical research, we did the testing at a different level, different potency level, where it is effective and where is the good health benefit where it will be coming on. So it's like right from 250 million per serving until 2 billion per serving. That's the effectivity level where this probiotic is very, very effective. So we chose like, okay, 650 million as an potency per serving is really great to do it up. So one is, this is the dose, about the dose of it, and why we chose this particular probiotic also, this is a spore format. So this being a spore format, it withstands all the baking temperature and the harsh processing conditions, which is not every probiotic is possible to withstand. So that's the reason SCB, LBSC, and baking. Anything you want to add, Melissa, Sophia?
So one thing is, the amount of probiotics that we add is not the same amount as the survival rate of the probiotics. So there is a formula that you can do to optimize the amount of probiotic to add into your baked good. And if you guys are interested, we have it in the PowerPoint.
So can I have
technically it has to be in that range, but depending.
Can I have a follow-up question on that one? Because I think I need clarification on where this particular product is being used in the baking process. So correct me if I'm wrong to say that it's being mixed in the beginning and not being sprayed on at the end.
Yes. So to add the probiotic, you have two options. You can add it into your dry ingredient. So you would just get a small amount of your premix when you're doing bench testing. So you would mix it in there, make sure that it's well incorporated, and then continue on with your process. Or you can add it into the water. That allows for an even better distribution, and then continue on with your process.
Got it. Thank you.
So it's going to be rice syrup and malt extract.
Thank you.
Those are the two. So it's very friendly to clean label, shorter labels. And all our products, just to add to that, all our products we don't add filler or anything like that. So any of our syrups are 100% that, unless we do a blend, of course.
Do you repeat?
Yes. So I think this is more related to the cookie making or the cracker making. Am I getting this right? So SNBS is generally used to make cookies and crackers. If I understand this right, it is sodium metabisulfite. That's what we're looking at. So we do have solutions or enzyme to replace or reduce that one. Our CBake PP or CBake Crisp Plus, those are the two products. They really do a wonderful job.
That's interesting. I never heard of that before. Thank you.
Yeah. So those are like the sulfide protease, and while hydrolyzing, they naturally release the sulfur bonds, and then it takes care of everything.
Amazing.
So there's action which is mimicking SNBS.
Thank you.
Yes, all of our enzymes and probiotics are gluten-free, and the carrier that we use is also gluten-free.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
It's like 5 years ago, no one would say that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for offering that option, because that opens up a lot of doors for a lot of our bakers.
Sophia, you want to take it?
So SCB-LBSC has got several health benefits. It can, it's been clinically proven to support relieve diarrhea, bloating, IBS, several gastrointestinal conditions. And then it's also potentially can be used for obesity and diabetes management by reducing calories. There's been some really interesting research that we have published, and it's got it can also help with like the regular health benefits.
So
Improving the
overall,
barrier
yeah,
function.
so do you mean like overall gut health management,
Management.
improving digestibility, the living conditions of diarrhea, which is associated even with antibiotic or the pathogen attacks?
Yes.
One is like infected with something and then having diarrhea. SCBLBSC is proven to relieve those symptoms. And it is also proven to improve the immunity. Like this probiotic is one of the ingredient we designed, and then we use that one in a post-COVID recovery treatment conditions, and then this helped to improve the recovery days, number of days. From 14 days, the recovery just went down to 2 days. So whole lot of benefits with SCBLBSC, and very safe to use because it's like it's a genome safety proven, and toxicologically safety is also proven within our research.
Interesting. Thank you.
This question. So your dough gets stiff, and you're
When you're fortifying it with protein.
you're gonna ask what you add to it. So if you're fortifying with protein, then one of the things you can do is add a protease. So we have something like BAKErpedia that works really nicely. It actually will improve the extensibility. So it's working on it breaks down some of the bonds in the gluten network so that it makes it more extensible. And then also that can allow you to add less water. So that could be great too, because you're not baking out as long and your costs don't go up.
Yeah, and I also would like to make a comment on high protein baking. A lot of people go wrong with high protein baking by adding more water. I mean, and then they put more gluten, and then it just goes to a mess at the roundabouts. I suggest, like what Sophia said, is to work on an enzyme solution for the machinability of your dough when you're doing a high protein formulation, instead of putting more water or gluten. Work with what you have with enzymes before you make a change to the rheology of the system. So that way, it is going to make it easier for your operators.
That's absolutely right, Lynn. And so one of the things also what our solutions can do is with the protein, if you are adding that one with a high protein baking, it will also help to improve the emulsification properties, right?
Yep.
And that will help to improve the volume. So generally, when high protein baking is there, volume is like in a big challenge, and that's what it has been proven. So bond breaking, modifying protein, and improving the rheological properties, and as I said rightly, that's what we have all these ones as an ready solution.
And you got a point there too, because when you work with emulsification, you improve the volume. So not just protein, but fiber as well. Like you said, as long as you're putting in fiber and protein, you have to work on the emulsification as well. Because if you don't work on emulsification, you're just going to get a dense product, dense cake, dense, cookie, dense, bread. So yeah, definitely reach out to the enzyme innovations team to look for these solutions, actually.
Thank you so much.
So, well, one of the things, as we mentioned before, the BAKErpedia works very nicely for freeing up the water during mixing by acting on the fiber. And we also have several other xylonases, cellulases that can help modify the portions of the fiber to help free up more water. You can potentially add some BAKErpedia if you need to as a combination, but basically there's several types of solutions you can offer.
So all it depends on here is what is the source of fiber. So that's a science we have to go through. Depending on the source of fiber, then we pick up a kind of specific xylanase. So here we displayed like only one xylanase, which is AX. Then we have several different xylanases or maybe hemicellulase we have to put in. So studying the composition of fiber, and then we can recommend the right solution. So the answer is yes, whatever fiber you are adding it up, we still have a solution where we help to improve the volume or improve the dough rheology.
And if I can add one more thing,
Sure.
so also the one thing that can help too is they're using these enzymes. If you can use a higher speed mixing, that will also help the enzymes act on the access the fiber earlier. So you may not have to use as long of a mix time, because when you have high fiber, sometimes you have to increase your mix time. You add more water. This is a way to help with that as well.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. We actually have time for one more question. Let's get the last question out.
Okay, so gluten-free is a tough one. There can be so many things that you can do. But so one thing I would say is setting a strong foundation. So having a strong structure. So some problems that I had with when I was formulating this gluten-free bread was the exact same problems. It was dense, small, and some things that I use and I think can help is I used hymethoxypectin and pre-gelatinized starch, guar gum to help set the structure. I made sure that I kind of took it low and slow during proofing, so that the dough wasn't rising too fast and all of the gas was escaping, because gluten-free it's a weaker structure. Like that's just the honest truth.
But Melissa, there's one of the thing also probably it is like one of the thing in gluten-free baking is there's no protein which has been available into the flour which has been used, and protein is one of the external source probably one is having. So so going back to protein, where depending on the protein and how much protein is added, the bread would certainly get more denser as well. So I think maybe it is like one has to closely look at what the recipe and formula would be, and of course looking at that, if there's still a challenge, then enzymes they would certainly help, like using our BAKErpedia and AX and CBEC Fresh Ultra. Then we got the volume and we got the freshness back as in a regular bread and a gluten-free bread as well. And of course, Melissa said a few great things with the other ingredients to play around with when one is formulating the gluten-free bread. It's tricky, and as we said, it's really tricky.
Yeah, and if you do use a protein, use one with good emulsification properties.
That's more important.
Yes,
I agree.
Optimizing your moisture, your hydration, really important. There's so many things you can do.
Absolutely.
Just,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I also encourage people to look at is the stability of the dough or the batter. I think that's important in making sure that you keep the gas in. Once you keep the gas in, you're going to get the volume. Once you get the volume, you're going to get a lighter product. It's going to have better shelf life. But don't forget, you have enzyme solutions to get the emulsification correct. And you really need enzyme solutions to keep that bread soft over life, So enzyme solution wise, yes, definitely look at emulsification. Stability of the system is usually provided by fiber, protein, or pre-gelatinized starch and hydrocolloids. So if you move all that together and just focus on getting as much gas in there and keeping the gas in, you're going to have a much lighter product. So a lot of things were being discussed today here, folks, and I'm so glad to have all these experts here helping you, giving all these bakers ideas on how to implement healthier baking systems. Because at the end of the day, I feel that in this industry, we could do better and we could actually provide healthier options to a lot of our consumers out there. So thank you to the team at Enzyme Innovation, and thank you, Joe at Malt Products. Thank everyone here for taking a break in your schedule today to come join us. We are coming to the end of the seminar, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having
us.
us.
Well,
Thank you.
Have a
bye.
great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.